Ladies and gentlemen, a very special Women's Wednesday. Who better to have as our Women's Wednesday guest than who is likely to be the first woman president of the United States? And it's also her birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Hillary Clinton. Happy birthday, Secretary Clinton.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that, Mark. And it's great to talk to you again.
It's good to speak with you as well. Besides, of course, being elected president, Secretary Clinton, what's your birthday? What birthday wish do you have today?
You know, I have a birthday wish that my grandchildren are happy, productive, kind, and loving people. I mean, that's what I think about every day, not just on my birthday.
Mm-hmm. I saw you had a chance to go to the Adele concert last night. Big night of endorsements, Adele and Colin Powell. How do you feel about being endorsed by both of them?
I feel really grateful. You know, I've had the opportunity to work with Secretary Powell and know him for a number of years now and have the highest regard for him. So that was a real honor. And I went to the Adele concert after we finished our day of campaigning in Florida, and I was stunned and thrilled because I'm a huge fan of hers, and it meant a lot to me that she said something so positive.
Indeed, indeed. Your opponent, Donald Trump, Secretary Clinton, says that you're going to start World War III, which is ridiculous. She's going to start World War III. Insane.
Yeah.
But
right. Well,
but I think we can make the argument that if he's elected, that he and his policies will wage war on women's health and on women seeking justice in cases of sexual assault. Wouldn't he wage that kind of war against women?
Well, I think he's been pretty clear that he has a very negative view about so many groups of Americans, obviously women, who he has been insulting throughout his campaign. And then the tape of his talking about assaulting women came to light. And he's now, rather than campaigning on issues, claiming he's going to sue everybody who's never said anything negative about him. So, yeah, I think that's right.
And particularly what he said at the last debate about women having ninth-month abortions, you described it rightly as fear-mongering. I mean, that's the kind of what we would have to look forward to under a Donald Trump presidency, wouldn't it? That type of fear-mongering.
Yes, it is. It's fear-mongering, and it's also just blatant bigotry. The kind of false information and hateful comments that he's been making repeatedly have hurt a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You know, I meet hundreds of people every day, and it's not just politics as usual. People are scared. I've had mothers write to me. A mother wrote to me about her son who had been adopted from Ethiopia when he was a toddler, and they live now in the United States. It's the only country he's ever been in. And her son said to his mother after hearing Donald Trump, "Will he send me back to Ethiopia?" And I've met Muslims, I've met Latinos, young children who have started to cry in front of me because Donald Trump is going to round up their parents and deport them. And you know, so everything this man has said has hurt people. And so that, among many reasons, is why he should never be near wielding real power. He is temperamentally unfit and unqualified to be our president.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I think you tweeted yesterday, he even was declaring defeat in Mosul just as the campaign and the I mean, that is definitely irresponsible, isn't it?
And if you were, one of our 5,000 military personnel there who are enabling the Iraqi army, who are helping with intelligence, helping with surveillance, calling in airstrikes, being on the ground as special forces, and you heard him say, you may be, moving toward Mosul in a convoy of Iraqi military or advising the Kurdish Peshmerga forces, and this guy is saying you're already defeated?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's insulting also. And, of course, why be surprised? He has called the American military a disaster. He says he knows more about ISIS than the generals.
Right.
Honestly, every day that goes by, it becomes clearer and clearer how unfit he is. And, I'm just concerned about the damage he's already done, the divides that he has exacerbated, the feelings people have here in our own country toward each other, and the feelings people have around the world toward us. I think if I'm fortunate enough to be elected president, which I'm working hard to be, I'm going to have to address this. It may be the most important part of my job in the beginning is to try to heal the deep, bigoted, discriminatory feelings that he has created.
I know we don't have a lot of time left. Latest in the news is the premiums under the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, are going up. What would be your solution as President Clinton to deal with that?
Mark, I think it's a problem. I have been talking about it for months. I've said that I'm going to get premium costs down, co-pays and deductibles for the 20 million people, predominantly working people, working African-American, Latino, white families across America who could never afford insurance before because they made too much money, so they weren't eligible for Medicaid, but they didn't have an employer who provided it. That's who we're talking about. And if Donald Trump got his way and the Affordable Care Act were repealed, that would affect everybody. It would put insurance companies back in charge, because right now insurance companies are prohibited from preventing somebody with a pre-existing condition from having insurance or being able to afford insurance. So this is about primarily stripping away the health care of 20 million. And remember, the way the system is set up, if the premium costs go up, people get a higher subsidy so they can afford it. But I've got plans to bring down the cost, also to bring down the cost of prescription drugs. And we can do that without taking away insurance for 20 million people and without hurting 170 million of us who get health insurance from our employers.
We're less than 2 weeks out. Secretary Clinton, we'd be honored to hear your closing argument.
Well, I appreciate that. I've asked in this campaign that people give me a chance to build on the progress that we've made under President Obama. I want to be held accountable because I've laid out specific plans on everything from education and more good jobs to reforming criminal justice and ending the epidemic of gun violence. And I want to be held accountable. I want to get to work fighting and working for you, but I need your continued support and your prayers in this final stretch of the election because the stakes are so high and millions of people are already voting. We actually expect more people to vote in this election than any in history, but it's going to be close. And in the states that have already started voting, we are seeing spikes in turnout. And for anybody listening, please, you can figure out where to go vote by going online to iwillvote.com or text JOIN, JOIN, to 47246. Throughout this campaign, I have talked about the need for more love, kindness. My vision for America is stronger together. I will be your partner. We'll make investments in communities that have been left out and left behind. And we're going to have a $20 billion special effort to tackle the challenge of youth unemployment. We'll ban the box. We'll do more to help people who paid their debt to society find jobs and housing when they get out. We're going to face systemic racism, and we're going to lift people up, not tear them down. So please, join millions of Americans on November 8th or vote early before then so we can protect President Obama's legacy and stop the kind of divisive and dangerous politics of Donald Trump.
Secretary Clinton, I know you'll be with Michelle Obama tomorrow. She's your closer. Any advice for your beloved Cubs since they dropped game one?
you know, when I got back from the Adele concert, I watched the rest of the game, and it was painful. But I think they just had to get that out of their system. I think we're going to be great.
You're going to be fine. Okay.
Tonight and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So let's keep hoping and praying, okay? If you're in North Carolina, I will be with Michelle Obama in Winston-Salem tomorrow, so come see us.
Certainly. We encourage everyone to do so. Go to iwillvote.com. Thank you for spending a little part of your birthday with us, Secretary Clinton. Happy birthday and many, many more, okay?
Thank you so much, Mark. Great to talk to you. Take care.